This week we're talking about Star Trek.
I can do that.
Star Trek is essentially what made me a nerd, made me a geek. It was kind of that deciding factor. My parents didn't give me much of a choice. They kind of force-fed it to me. And I thank them every day for that love in my life. We started watching The Next Generation. My parents grew up watching the original Star Trek, and I started watching at The Next Generation, and then I found the movies by myself, the original Trek movies, and the original series by myself. I still to this day really have trouble deciding who my favorite is. I usually settle on Worf more often than not, but there are moments that I really like pretty much everybody else, but I think Worf is usually the one where I say Worf is definitely my favorite character from The Next Generation. If I had to choose one, I would probably pick Worf, because he's awesome. I am also unlike most Trekkies, and I actually really like Deep Space Nine. I think that it was a really imaginative version of Star Trek, and I also like the fact that Worf was in that as well. The only Star Trek series that I don't like is Enterprise, and I think that is probably a universal Trekkie dislike. I don't think very many people liked Enterprise because it just wasn't Star Trek. I can't really put my finger on why it wasn't Star Trek. Maybe somebody later on, like Kyo-chan, I'll bet you she'll be able to say up the wazoo why that wasn't Star Trek. But it just wasn't Star Trek to me. It just wasn't. It was like a compilation of all of these sci-fi shows and movies, and they kind of just threw them together hoping to create something epic. And they created something as far away from epic as humanly possible. Though the newest incarnation of Star Trek, which is the 2009 Star Trek movie, was so awesome. There is nothing else to say about that movie. That movie was just pure awesome. Yeah, one more thing about that movie. Chris Pine. But yeah, I love Star Trek. It's probably one of my most adored and loved moments of my geekiness. Things that made me a geek. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. All I know is that I love Star Trek, and I love it. TK, we'll see you tomorrow.